Hello everyone, welcome back to Go Battle League Season 6. I hope you'll enjoy this team. It's one I've been using for the last few days. I've been quite enjoying it. It's a bit of a budget team and I thought I'd bring it out to play just a bit more. I've always quite liked the Whiscash Skarmory pairing, both because they're kind of cheap, but also they cover each other's vulnerabilities quite nicely. And we've got a Galvantula on the side as our safe switch, and the reason for that is because I like the electric bug combination. There's no monotypes that resist both electric and bug, although you do have a few combi types like Galarian Stunfisk, which is resistant to both. The purpose of this team is we lead with Whiscash. It's really only vulnerable to grass types, and it's got some great matchups against steels, and particularly rocks as well. So things like Gunfisk and Bastiodon, those things we can take out nicely with Whiscash. Both Skarmory and Galvantula have similar vulnerabilities, despite looking quite different. They both don't like rock, they both don't really like steel, they both really don't like fire. So we aggressively switch into the Galvantula because we've started to build up energy aggressively with that Volt Switch to launch discharges or lunges. This will often bait out a Skarmory counter, which you can then debuff a bit, kill with Whiscash, and then hopefully the Skarmory can sweep in the back with Brave Bird. That's the hope anyway. But also part of the idea here is that we wanted a team without using any Community Day moves or with a relatively cheap power-up cost. You've probably got Skarms from GBL rewards, Whiscash has had a recent Spotlight Hour, and they're just generally fairly available. Joltik's a bit rarer, but they've been about a fair bit. So with that in mind, let's hop into a few matches. I've got 10 for you today, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. Right, first up, playing at rank 13 as you can see. Still don't know what the MMR is, but off we go. So, Registeel, great lead for us with the Whiscash. Whiscash does got quite a number on it. Now here, they haven't switched out, so I'm a bit suspicious of this because it does imply that there's something else in the back that doesn't like Whiscash. However, Whiscash is our strong Registeel counter, so we do really need to kind of keep it in play and keep it aligned. Don't really want to take on with a Galvantula really. So we're going to farm up some mud bombs and we're just going to throw those, hopefully to pressure some shields from it. Now they've already taken a shield from us because of the focus blast, and they're maybe going to get another one. No, we're going to get the last mud bomb off. So this is where we see if we get a shield from them. And we do, great. So now we can farm down. We're going to eat this focus blast because we don't really want to spend both our shields, and basically farm them down for some bit of an energy lead. So in comes an Azumarill. At this point, I probably should have switched actually, but never mind. We'll throw the mud bomb. Speculating a bit that they've probably got another steel in the back. So at this point we switch out, they go straight into their Marowak, which again is something that definitely doesn't like Whiscash. So we are bringing the Galvantula here, it's drawn out the Marowak for us. Actually Galvantula is good against both these things, still. Sorry, Galvantula is not so good against Marowak, but Whiscash would have been. We throw the discharge, that hits for neutral, it does a decent amount and it takes big chunks out of Marowak, but as you can see we go down quite quickly. However, we've got the Whiscash ready. We do need to shield here really, because we can't really afford to take it on with the Skarmory, and they've got 2 moves loaded, so they're going to take us out and we're not going to get to throw our charge move. Unfortunately that's the way it goes. So we bring in the Skarm and we just try and get that Marowak down. They switch to the Azumarill, that's great. But they are still in position to really hurt us because we've got no shields and we can't really afford to finish off with a Brave Bird because of the Marowak in the back. Still, incoming Ice Beam I guess. Yep, hits neutral because the steel and the flying cancel out, and we're just going to get another Sky Attack off. Now the real question here is, are we going to be able to get the Marowak down before it gets to a Shadow Bone? Because I think it will take us out if it gets there, and it's got one loaded already. So. Good game to my opponents. It was close. It was close. I should probably have preserved the Whiscash a bit more aggressively. The fact that I didn't switch out the Registeel should have been a sign to me. If I kept a bit more health and double shielded it, despite the fact I'd gone into shield deficit, I might have carried that match. Anyway, next up, Whiscash into Skarm. So, there's a good chance they've got Whiscash in the back, but we bring our Galvantula in and start building up the energy. They haven't bailed yet, but there we go, there's the Whiscash. So Electric doesn't do well against Whiscash, but Bug does. So we're just going to lunge at this, and we'll hope we can get 2 on it before it gets its... no. Mud Bomb coming through, okay. We're going to let this on land. It hits a neutral, and Mud Bomb isn't actual that deadly a move, but Galvantula's pretty squishy. So we're just going to throw for another lunge, and hopefully to pressure shield from them. Nope, got another debuff though, that's okay. Now this time we are going to have to match shields with them, or let it go down. And at this point I'm going to let it go down. And as you can see, the magic of Didn't quite, I over-tapped. Anyway, the magic of the debuff means I survived that Mud Bomb. So we can bring in our own Whiscash and go for a bit of a farm here. They're double debuffed, so we're actually in quite a good strong position to just ignore their charge moves. And incoming Mud Bomb, there you go. We've got to watch out from the building up to a Blizzard, like we're doing, but they're just throwing a bit too fast, so we don't have to worry about that just yet. Another Mud Bomb, still doesn't do very much damage, and I think we might be able to farm them all the way down, but we've got some surplus energy. No, we'll just let another Mud Bomb land. We'll keep our 100 energy, thank you. There we go. So Whiscash is in its happy place of a full tank of energy, a Blizzard ready to go. So, what they're bringing in. Incoming Skarm, we'll throw the Blizzard straight away. Hits for neutral, but it's got great DPE because it's a powerful move. And look at that. Takes a huge chunk off the Skarm. We're going to throw a Mud Bomb to finish it. Well, it won't quite finish it. Mud's double resisted, Steel single super effective, so it hits for not very effective. Still decent, and we're just going to let the Whiscash go down. They probably haven't got enough energy to get to a Sky attack before we can finish them with the Skarm, even though we are mutually not very effective. So we are into our last round with a shield left, and it's a Machamp. Oh my. Okay, well, bad news for my opponent, because they really need to land the rock slides. We've got 2 shields. Fighting damage is neutral, but we are hitting them for super effective with our fast move. It's game over now, really. We'll play it out. Cross chop coming through, and we'll flex a bit by brave birding them. Bit overkill, but you know. Good game to my opponent. So, same again. Going to bring in a bit of a graphics glitch here. It doesn't see the ranks, but I think I'm still rank 13. I don't think I've ranked up here. So, right, Umbreon lead. So that's fairly solid. We don't really want to stay in this one because we're building up with a. Okay, switch to a Lantern, and I switched to a Galvantula. I was actually expecting to be using electric moves, which is why I went to Galvantula, and I've realised a bit too late that they were using water moves, which is unfortunate. However, we are still managed to get a lunge through and debuff them, so that's okay. We can afford to shield here, and they're using an electric move, which we resist. I was expecting a water move there, so yes. Lunge, I should be move counting, but I'm not familiar with Water Gun Lantern here. You don't see it very often. Usually they're using the electric move. So at this point I can choose to shield and stay in with my energy, which is what I'm going to do. And again, Thunderbolt comes through. We've got an energy lead. They've got a shield lead. So that's okay. And now in comes the Umbreon, which is great because we can now lunge at it. There we go. And we get the shield, even better. Now, we've got no shields left. They are going to take us out with their foul play. But that's okay. We've got a debuffed Umbreon in front of us. And at this point we can bring the Skarm in. And they can throw, that's fine. They've got no shields left. The reason I bring the Skarm in is because with no shields left I can freely use the Brave Bird and then switch to Whiscash. And so we nibble away, and we're going to eat another foul play. But as you can see, it's still not doing a great deal because that debuff is protecting us a little bit. But I have a nice big tank of energy, drop the Brave Bird, and quickly go for a switch. And then throw the Mud Bomb to finish off this Umbreon. And Lash popping on the bubbles and getting a bad matchup. Shiftry, this is really bad news for us. However, we've got loaded energy, so incoming Blizzard. Good game to my opponent. And I don't think they'd have been able to carry that anyway, even if it had something nasty like a Leaf Blade to take us out. The Skarmory would have finished the job. Maybe. Still, next up, Whiscash, Skarmory. So again, we're anticipating their Whiscash in the back or some other sort of pseudo Mudboy. And they've got a Machamp. Why they brought that in on a Galvantula, I don't really know, because their fighting damage is not very effective. However, their rock damage is going to hurt, and actually so is their cross chop. Shadow Machamp does a lot of damage. So we are shielding it, and we are throwing a move we know is resisted by fighting, because we know Machamp's really got to shield no matter what you throw at it, because it's just so fragile. Now we throw the Discharge. Again, in hindsight, probably didn't need to, because I think a lunge would have taken it out. And if we're lucky, we'll get to a lunge before the Hypno takes us down. No. So they've got a bit of an energy lead, but we can bring Skarm in. Chances are pretty good that Hypno's got Fire Punch, but if it doesn't, it's got Electric Punch. There we go. Yep. It almost always has one of the two, just because of the sheer number of steals in play. Sometimes you see it with Shadow Ball and Ice Punch, but not very often. Skarm doesn't like that very much, so we're just going to go for a cheeky Brave Bird. The idea being that maybe they won't shield it, and this will take them out. But we got the shield instead, and instead we go down really quickly. So we did actually switch out there. Maybe we can steal a third shield there, that's the kind of hope. And we're just going to start mud bombing with the Whiscash. Isn't quite enough to take a Hypno, and they got their Skarm still there. So we're just going to rush to a Blizzard. We're left deciding what moves we can eat here, and of the choices, the Sky Attack from the Skarmory is probably the most threat to us. So we overcharge a little bit on the Blizzard, and let that rip. There we go, big chunk off the Skarm. Generally, if you've got a neutral context, it's Blizzard that does higher damage per energy than Mud Bomb, because Mud Bomb is actually a pretty bad move. Obviously, if they're going to resist the ice or shield it, that's not true. But Mud Bomb's most of the bait move. And it's just here for a bit of a nibble damage, and I think we're going to go down here. Yeah. Oh well, we might be able to finish him with the Skarm. It's getting close. I don't think we're going to manage it. No, they've got a move loaded. And even if we did, I think it'd be marginal on whether we got to the Sky Attack in time. Maybe we'd have made a Sky Attack with a 3-turn move on between a Confusion. Still, good game. Well played. Whiscash into Toxicroak. This is good for us because we resist them and they take super effective from us. So we're anticipating a switch, and I should have anticipated a bit harder because otherwise I shouldn't have thrown the Mud Bomb. Anyway, good play on my opponent's part. We're going to build up here to get some more energy in and let the Umbreon throw, because that way we can bring our Galvantula in and eat the Umbreon with it. And that gives us the most time to build up energy to get to those all important lunges without having to take too many foul plays. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does do quite a bit to something squishy like this Buddha. Right, so there we go. Bug type damage coming in. They shield it, which is good call because it would be super effective, and it is debuffing them. So we're not going to shield this one because we think we can survive it, and then incoming foul play. There we go. Doesn't do a huge amount. Umbreon doesn't hit very hard, and we've debuffed it once. I'm going for a second debuff. I'm not sure we'll survive another foul play, but we have got their last shield off them, so that's a good start. At this point, we're going to commit to it. We're going to double shield, and we're going to beat them to that last foul play, and we're going to take them down. But in comes the Toxicroak and finishes us. Oh well played. That's a good call by my opponent. However, it does mean I've now got a Skarmory, well actually a Whiscash even, to drop on the Toxicroak when they've got no shields left. So that should do a huge amount of damage to it, yep. And we can peck it down with the mud shots. There we go. So nice pile of energy on the Whiscash, and Azumarill comes in. Okay, well, Azu we can live with. We're just going to build up a huge energy reserve and throw Mud Bombs at it. Mud Bomb. Now, one thing we've got to watch out for here is it farming us, but I think it's worth the trade here, because we can throw plenty of Mud Bombs if they choose to try and farm us all the way down, and just start pressuring their shields a bit, and get them to use their energy. Great. So at this point, they've blown their load, if you like, and there'll be a while before they can throw another one. 2, 3, 4, 5. They're up to their Ice Beam, but we got to the Sky Attack first. And there we go, CMP targeting Ice Beam. Still, we are neutral to that because Skarmory is magic, and we're just going to finish him off quite merrily. There we go. And now we've got the Umbreon to deal with, so that's not going to be quite so good, but we do still have some energy lead from finishing off the Umbreon, from the Azumarill, and Sky Attack will take out Umbreon. Good game. Thank you, my opponent. Next up, Go Plus firing off to catch a stop on the side there. Whiscash into Toxicroak. Again, good lead for us. Toxicroak doesn't like the ground damage, and so we're just going to throw Mud Bombs at it, and this time we catch it, and they don't switch out on us. So that's nice. This would probably get a shield, or do them lots of damage. Yep, good, there's a shield down. They're building up to probably a Sludge Bomb, but actually I think we're just going to let it through, because even Sludge Bomb will resist, and Mud Bomb is neutral, so we can happily swap Mud Bombs with them all day long. They are doing more damage to us with the counters though, so those are starting to add up a bit. But now we've got 2 shields against them, so we can afford to shield whatever comes next. And I think we will, because I think our Mud Bomb landing on them now will take them out, so we're just going to let this finish. Win the lead and have a shield lead too. And they switch to Azumarill. Beautiful timing there. Beautiful timing. We'll throw the Mud Bomb anyway. Not got much choice, and we're going to go for a switch ourselves into Galvantula. Now, an unshielded Azumarill is a thing that Galvantula likes to see. So, we are actually going to over farm a little bit. It does mean taking an Ice Beam, and therefore losing a shield. But we are going to just build up a couple of discharges, and then throw, and be careless and let it hit us with another Ice Beam. Stupid boy. That was a very stupid play. I should have thrown that discharge well before then, and I miscounted. So it goes. Right, Galarian Stunfisk in the back. We're on to a loser here. This is no good for us. If I hadn't been stupid with that energy from the Galvantula, this might have been a lot better, because we could have debuffed that Gunfisk and maybe finished it. But so it goes. So it goes. I'll go for a switch here. I'm going to throw a Mud Bomb. Well, we draw their energy out. That's good, but I think we're still in trouble. Yeah. Right, so Rock Slide. We can maybe get a Brave Bird off. No. This is going to take us out. Probably. Still kicking myself about that energy on the Galvantula. That would have done a lot of damage and it would have been very useful. Still. Yeah. And no, not quite. Might have managed to finish the Gunfisk, but I don't think we would have managed to sweep the team, so good game to my opponent. I hate it when I make mistakes like that. It's really irritating. Right, so there we go. Good effort. Thanks. Screw up on my part. Anyway, next up, we are moving on. So, moral of the story is don't get greedy with your overcharging. Right, Drifblim. So, interesting lead this one because, well, we hit them for neutral, they hit us for neutral. Oh, no, sorry, we don't have neutral at all. We're firing ground moves, and ground moves are doubly resisted by flying types. They hit us for neutral, and it's a Shadow Ball. Yikes. We switch out with a loaded move. So, Galvantula is a bit better. We wanted to get them to throw their charge move, although I had anticipated them using Icy Wind instead, actually, but so it goes. Discharge will do super effective here, so that's good. And we have the shield, but we have got the shield off them in return. So, incoming Icy Wind, that's to be expected. And there we go. Going to go for that again and just throw the discharge. This will get another shield off them, or they'll go down. Alright, we've got the next shield. Probably another Icy Wind coming in. This time we're going to let it land. It's going to hurt, but not quite take us out. And in comes the Deoxys. And are we going to get to the lunge? We're just about going to get to the lunge on the Deoxys. Which is great, because even with debuff, we've applied a debuff to them, and we've taken a big chunk out of them. Now in comes the Whiscash, and we're just going to go straight into the Blizzard. Blizzard hits like a truck when the shields are down, which they are. There we go. Goodbye. Now we're going to let whatever comes land on us. And it's just a Rock Slide. Doesn't do a lot of damage to Whiscash, so we are in a position to farm down, but we go for a switch instead. The idea being that, as before, we can potentially Brave Bird and switch, but switch time is not going to come up quick enough, I don't think. So we are going to just go for a bigger overcharge. In comes a Drifblim, and we were going to try and farm that down. And are we going to shield? Not going to shield. Right, so we're guessing Icy Wind. That's good. We farm down on the Drifblim. Now, Sky Attack coming in, and this time we do have to shield. Definitely have to shield, because otherwise this will take us out. But it's a Play Rough, that's good. So, Sky Attack going back the other way. We can potentially Brave Bird, then switch, and then do that again. So yeah, switch time is up. So, we'll go for a quick switch there to clear the debuff. We throw our Mud Bomb, and this might take them out. No, not quite. But we might push them into throwing. No. We're not. Right, so CMP tying on the Brave Bird, and there we go. Win the CMP, drop the Brave Bird on their face. Goodbye. Good game to opponent. What we got next? Still rank 13, as you can see. No ratings yet. I'm just trying to guess who I'm playing against. Right, Galarian Stunfisk. Great lead for us. I'm expecting them to bail on us quite quickly. But I'm also anticipating they might try and Earthquake us. Earthquake does hit us quite hard. Rock Slide, on the other hand, is just a rubbish bait move here. But that's okay, because we can swap Earthquakes with Mud Bombs and we win that exchange. They've had enough energy to build an Earthquake, so we shield and get a Rock Slide. Well, it's a shame, but so the next one will almost certainly be an Earthquake, having baited once. People don't often bait twice, but it's a gamble sometimes. And they're going down quite quickly, and we are taking shields off them. So I'm going to call this an Earthquake, shield it again. And it was this time. That's good. Good shield there. They go for the switch to Skarm, which means we've got Galvantula ready. Not as good as it sounds though, because we've got no shields left. Still, this is going to hurt. But because we're electric and bug, the two cancel out, so we hit for neutral with a sky attack, and in return we hit quite hard with a discharge. Look at that, wow. I don't think they were anticipating them taking a Skarmory in one hit actually. I think I'd have shielded that. Right, Stunfisk comes back in, and we are going to get to the lunge on it. This is great because that means the debuff goes on, and we take a bit of chip damage off. Why so they don't waste their shield there, but it does mean our little Whiscash there can finish the job with a bit of a mud bomb. There we go. With the shield, that's good. And in comes a Marowak. This is bad for them. It does mean our Skarmory is now almost useless. It means we need to commit to the Whiscash, but that's okay. I think we can get there before they can take us out. Not quite. Incoming Shadowbone, I guess. It may finish us. Not quite. Okay. So, Whiscash is proper chunky. We overcharge this a little bit because it'll take him a little while to get another move ready. And we throw the Mud Bomb. Now, it's a bit of a race here, but I think no matter what, they are going to take us out. But I don't think Skarmory is going to be able to be losing to that somehow. Even if they had. Yeah, my opponent concedes. Good game, good game. And there's a surprising number of teams at the moment who have double weaknesses to Whiscash. I'm sure that'll change over the next couple of days because the meta's always shifting, but I've had a bit of luck with that today. Between poison or steals, obviously, and fires. Anyway, Whiscash, Obstagoon. It's a decent lead. We are going to be looking to switch out. We're going to build up probably to a Blizzard, let them throw their first Night Slash, which is what this almost certainly is. Yep, incoming Night Slash, so we go for our switch, and they go for a switch at the same time. And look at that, they've just chosen the worst possible counter switch for Galvantula. Well, that's good for us. We are going to have a bit of a good time here, so we can just afford to shield this and just farm it down almost. Although the fast moves are adding up a bit, so we do have to be a bit more cautious. And there's another sky attack, so we're just going to double shield here. I don't think we're going to make it to take them all the way down. Seems we are. Right, that's good. So, we're taking them down. We're down a shield though. We do have energy loaded. So we've got our lunges ready. Oh, a Jirachi. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Double steel team. That's an intriguing choice because that also doesn't like the mud boys. Right, and overtapped, so didn't get the extra lunge off. Still, lunge does a decent amount to Jirachi and debuffs it, so we can come with the mud bombs and go for another mud bomb, I guess. This is probably Doomsday, and usually is from Jirachi. Doomsday is a great move, but it's not so good against Whiscash. And in comes the Obstagoon, which will go into Skarm. And now their Night Slashes are going to cause us a mild headache, but as long as they don't get the debuff, we're okay here. The boost, like that, in fact. Yikes. Right, so this is going to hurt. Hopefully this won't take us out, because if it does, we're toast. Ooh, yikes. Right, so Brave Bird in return. This will hopefully take down the Goon and actually leaves us in quite a good position because our Skarmory is on sufficient low health that they won't be able to get much energy off farming it with the Jirachi. And we get the Mud Bomb in straight away and off we go. Good game to my opponent. Now you can see the spread between the level ranks here, it's 14 versus 12. I'm pretty sure that's because it's just going on MMR, not on actual matches played. Now Swampurt's one of the things this team has a bit of a problem with, because the Swampurt Whiscash matchup isn't all that great, and neither is the Galvantula, and honestly neither is the Skarmory. So we are just going to have to play a bit of a joust here. And they Sludge Wave me, which I think is possibly the worst possible choice of move if they've got Hydro Cannon, or even if they've got Surf actually. And then they don't shield the Blizzard, yikes. Okay. I'm going to shield this one because, well, might be they've learnt by Sludge Waving me. I don't know why they Sludge Waved there. I think that was a bit of a blunder on their part. It may well cost them the match. Anyway, Skarmory comes in. Let's see if we can get another Blizzard to land. Let's see if they'll let that on through. Go on. You know you want to. Oh, yes, landing another Blizzard. It just makes me so happy. Galvantula comes in. We shield the Sky Attack. And I think we can probably finish this off with fast moves. I think we might manage it before they even get to another Sky Attack. So that's okay. In comes a Whiscash. It was a double Mud Boy team. They are going to get wrecked by any double grasses. Okay, so we're going to bring the lunge in. Now, usually when you do a double trouble team like that, you usually lead with the counter, like like Skarmory, because that way you can switch in one of the Mud Boys, draw out any Mud Boy counters they've got, like, I don't know, Victory Bell, then eat it with a Skarmory. You don't usually need them, so anyway, maybe that was the plan. Or maybe they just plan to sacrifice the Swampert. Okay, so the power of the debuff works. We've survived with a couple of hit points left, and we are going to go into our lunge, and this should finish off. Oh, not quite. But my opponent concedes at this point, because they realise they haven't seen whatever's in the back, and I think my Skarmory would have been able to carry us. So, good game. There we go. Interesting team there at the back. I'm wondering if anyone's actually been using that in anger and having some success with it. I did try double Mud Boys a few times and never really had much joy with it, just because they are so very vulnerable to any grass damage. I hope you enjoyed that. I think seen that as a decent budget team. I've quite enjoyed playing it, and yeah, thanks for watching. You have a good day.